went in on Kurt Franklin for cussing out his man-child. Like we don't do it. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. We don't do it. My boys are 10 and 6. I cuss them out every day. Not all day, but I do. I'm a single mom. So when another married mom or single says they can relate, I know I'm okay. And the kids will be okay too. No one is perfect. You want to shed any light on that? Is she on here? I was looking for the name. Somebody's talking and you're muted. I don't know if she's talking to us or she's talking. No, I don't know if she's talking to us or you were just having an at-home conversation.
An at-home conversation.
Okay, no problem.
Right there.
You ain't cussing nobody out, are you?
A little bit.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. No. I want to make sure I wasn't missing you.
No, we're good.
Okay. I don't know who that was. I'm looking for the name on here. Maybe they hung up.
Her name is Jenin.
But I wanted to say as a pastor, I'm not here to criticize anybody. Be careful when she says she cussed them out every day, not all day, but be careful what you put into the minds of our youth. I mean, you have to,
I'm here.
Again.
It's Jenin. Yes. What I meant to say. What I meant to say was, I mean, I'm a Christian, and at the time, I think we were talking about transparency and how, I mean, everybody, like I said, I think you mentioned something about social media. So I was just trying to say, like, everybody, no one is perfect, and we all have our issues. And I think Vanessa even mentioned something about marriage too, because I mean, I'm not married. I'm hoping to be one day. It's like most of us from the outside, we have the image that is presented is what a perfect marriage looks like, or a perfect mom should be, or whatever the case is. I mean, I'm a mother, as I said, and I mean, some days are just harder than others with kids. When I say cuss them out, I don't mean, indecency, throwing things at them. I mean, they're two boys and they can get crazy sometimes, so I get crazy too. So, I mean, when I think like I'm the only one that's going through this, like my neighbor, one time she said to me, I was getting them ready to go to school in the morning, and we have to get out of the house by 7:30. And 7:30, like before 7:30 in my house, it's like a whole scene. And when they're coming downstairs, she's like, oh my God, they look so nice. They're well-behaved, boy. And I'm looking at this woman like, you're crazy. Didn't you just hear me? So when somebody else reach out to me and say, you know what, girl, I go through the same thing, and they're being transparent in their situation, I can understand. In my thing, I'm not crazy, So say all that to say, we need to stop putting like expectations on persons and judgment, and realize like you and I might go through the same thing, but different situations. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. So that's what I mean when I say I cuss them out, because they get cussed out.
I just wanted to tell you, be careful with that, what you put in their spirit. Trust me, I understand kids. I got a 19 and 16-year-old, and I can't tell them nothing. They're a lot smarter than me, so they think. So I totally understand the frustration. I just want you to just be prayerful and considerate about the seeds you're planting as you're speaking to them in your discipline. That's all. And again, and even going back, and Chantilly, I know our time is almost up. So,
No, you're good. You're good.
And going back,
you're good.
And going back to social media, that's what I was, we're just talking about how everybody has an opinion about that, but you have to be careful. And I'm sure any parent on here understand they got a kid over 2 understands about being frustrated at a child. Trust me. And you also said something about transparency in social media, or transparency in general. It's okay to be transparent, but you got to be careful who you're transparent about. You can't be naked in front of everybody. You cannot be. There's certain people, again, certain things I can't tell the ministry. I can talk about being transparent in general, but there's certain things I cannot talk to about everybody, about being transparent. So you have to be careful. Any other comments about what the church or conferences can do to help in a marriage? As y'all thinking about that, I mean, social media, social media is what people, people gonna show you what they want to show you. it's really fake book and stuff, you know, and rightfully so, because nobody's gonna go on there and say, you know, people are gonna go on and say, me and my wife celebrated 15 years, been the best 15 years of our life. We've been in love every single day, and we never thought about leaving each other. They ain't gonna tell you by the time his bag was packed, he was at the front door. The divorce lawyer was on hold and already made an appointment and things like that. So we have to be careful with that, because of social media, again, it's a joke. I mean, again, it's just for having fun and all of that. Anytime you don't, my opinion, I wouldn't take none of that stuff seriously.
It's an illusion. Social media
Absolutely.
is an illusion. Everybody living their best life. And then when you see some of the people in real, and what's amazing, Pastor, is that when you know some people that's on there, you like, I know you ain't living like, I know for a fact you ain't living like that. I've been in your house. So it's
right there.
Oh, you better believe it. People posting their cars and they alligator shoes, and they owe you money. Pastor, we going on about that. Trust me, I can. Oh yeah. Okay. Amen.
You all right, Pastor? You all right? Come back. Come back. Right.
Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, I know that's right.
You need a session?
Yeah. I'm about to need therapy. Yeah, dude, like you still owe me $500.
You got a client, a potential client right here.
Well, Pastor, how you doing? Pastor, you all right? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Good to see you. All is well.
Likewise. It's always good to see you.
Yes, sir. Somebody put something in the hold on. Let me see if I'm reading this. Pastor might need. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. They're cracking on me. Yeah, absolutely.
Pastor might need that trauma session.
Ms. Nee, thank you for having me, and thank you for the great work you're doing. And I'm serious. I got your back. And as they say as the saints used to say, keep on keeping on.
Thank you. I finally figured out what happened, so now I can hear.
What happened? You want to share with us?
I had it on in a different browser.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to find it, and it wasn't on Safari. It was on, not Safari, but it wasn't on Chrome. It was on Internet Explorer. So I figured it out.
But it was on your computer.
When I opened up YouTube Live, it popped up on there. Right. So I'm looking for like, where is it? And I had to close everything out. I'm like, oh, right here. Like, really? But we got it together. Did anyone have any questions before we go? We have been, it's been a long day. And I appreciate everyone who's been on. Majority of the people have been on all day. I mean, our guests that were on earlier, our panelists, they all had other things to do, but this was great. I feel like there's a lot that we didn't cover. So we were supposed to cover blending families today, co-parenting. So a lot of the topics that we do cover, I will give you guys that. So we talk about, again, like I mentioned, the co-parenting, the blending families, divorce, life after divorce, because people feel like when you're divorced, you're doomed, no one's gonna want you. But we have, I believe Deanne's still on here. Deanne, you still on here?
I am.
Hey, okay. So if you don't mind really quickly, because she is also a therapist. And so if you don't mind sharing really quick your story on how you transition from being divorced, because she still has a great relationship with her ex-family. And they were actually on a live that Raynard and Deanne did to promote the conference. And she was just talking about that. And not only that, some of his family, her ex-husband, his family was on supporting her in the comments. So we really bring, again, our conference, we really bring a different perspective when it comes to relationships and how you can be successful in having relationships even with your ex. Because a lot of people are not friends with their ex. I know I'm not. So, or their family. Okay, so there's another side to it, and I love bringing in something that's fresh, something that's new that you've never really explored before. That's why we kind of I would say people are drawn to us because it's something different they never heard before. So Deanne, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your transition.
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess my own background probably plays into it, where I come from a very big family, and we're pretty close knit. So when I married into the family that I was married into, it was like, that's my family. That is my family. And I always approached it like that. And it was reciprocal in that regard. And, despite what happened between me and my ex-husband, we are still able to communicate, and it's just like the not taking things personal. I tell you, those 4 agreements really did help my own journey. But it's like, I mean, his family is great. They're very authentic people, and we're pretty authentic this way. And so it just really, honestly, I'm blessed to have them still kind of in my life. They're great people, and both of our families still communicate, and we just co-parent, and it works. And I know my situation is unique. I know it's unique, but it's possible. That's the thing. I just want people to know that it really is possible.
And I would tell my parents over at the pregnancy aid. So those of you that don't know, I did coach. I first started out coaching pregnant women. So if you ever are scared of public speaking, I would say go to a men or women's prison or talk to pregnant women. Okay, yeah. Because you're gonna get your most challenging people in those places. And women who are pregnant and going through all these hormonal changes, it's rough. So dealing with them, I've talked to them about this dynamic of co-parenting, and they laugh because no one ever taught them that you can have a successful co-parenting relationship. And when I showed a slideshow of what a co-parenting relationship looked like, you probably seen it before, where there's a kid, he's on a football team, and then you have one set of a couple that's on one side and the other couple is on the other. When they saw that dynamic, they were like, oh no, this would never work. This would never work. I'm like, well, why can't it work? Because you choose, again, a choice. We talked about this in my workshop earlier. It's a choice. So you have to make a choice in saying you're not going to abandon or ruin the relationship of your child. Your child had nothing to do with whatever you've gone through between you and the father, and vice versa. You guys work that out, either in counseling, or you come to an agreement that you're going to come together for the children's sake. But I talked to them about that. They're like, no one's ever broke that down to us. So there's there's a group of people out there who don't know how to have a co-parenting experience that's healthy, and so that's why we're doing this, this conference on a regular basis, and having this particular topic brought up. And so we may have to do even a workshop on co-parenting. In the end, you might have to run it. So because you have the perfect example of being, again, you're divorced, but you didn't divorce this family. You guys decided to keep that. And I think that's a good thing to have. So, Pastor, do you want to say anything on that, interject, or Vanessa, anybody? Louis?
I think that's honorable, because you're right. Most times people, and the important part is that nobody in the families had to pick sides at the end of the day. They were able to stay neutral and love the wife for who she was, love the husband for who he was, and oftentimes we put that situation in people. I divorced. What you doing talking to him? Why are you calling him? Again, that's because people are not adequately taught.
Yeah. Donna said, I disagree. It depends on the individual healing. So, I mean, again, like.
That was to the comment that was above it, Neek. That was to the comment that was above it. It was a comment above it talking about hurt. Depends on the type of hurt. I think it depends on, instead of the hurt that we focus in on, it's all about the healing. It's how you heal is what makes you be able to sit in front of anyone, any enemy that you may think you have, and be comfortable.
Yeah, that's it. I get what you're saying now. Sorry about that. I thought I was like, wait, what? But you got it. Yeah, you're right. You gotta, again, go through that healing process, wanting to go through that healing process. Jan, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm talking too much. But to Donna, in reference to what you said, suppose you are the one that's working on your healing and your forgiveness and all these things, and the other person isn't. would you want to still be in like dealing with somebody that is toxic? Because when you break up, you had to break up for a reason. So do you still want to still be in contact with this person that might have caused your hurt when you're the one that's working on healing? I mean, go ahead.
No, I would say that it's all about being comfortable. When you said that it depends on the hurt, whether you can have a cordial conversation or the family still get along and things of that nature, I think that part is dependent on your healing. Now, if he has not healed, that's his problem, not yours. Don't make his problems yours. You don't have to continue to have disrespectful conversations. Everything should be respectful and tasteful. And just because I've experienced that, I know that it can be done. And I'm not saying that everything is the same for everybody, but that's just been my experience. I don't believe there's ever been anything. And there's exes I do not talk to, and I may talk to their mama or their sisters, and I may not have any conversations with that person, but I'm comfortable if I have to be around them. I think that's really what I was getting at. Like, you can be comfortable around someone who hurt you.
Yeah, but I am in that situation right now, so this is why I'm speaking on it. It's like
y'all have children together?
I shared my 2 boys is with this person. So here I am over here, like working on my healing and my spirituality and my salvation, getting all these things to heal myself and make sure my children don't have to grow up from a childhood that they have to heal from in their adulthood. You know what I mean? And me having to reach out to him to have this contact to that person who might have broken me. I decided that that's not something I'm not going to deal with. I mean, the kids are being seen and taken care of and all that wonderful thing, but we don't have that co-parenting relationship. You want something, you call my mother. I think until I can speak in that place that I am fully healed from this person, I don't think I can have that fully co-parenting relationship with him. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. And yes, no. I'm being fully transparent because I mean, this is who I am. And this is in order for all of us to heal. Like, I'm not there yet that I can sit and have a conversation with you. If I know he's coming to my house, like, I'm gone. If he wants something about the kids, like, call my mom and deal with that. You know, this is where I am at. So this is why I said what I said in the comment. And no, I'm not there. I'm working on it.
Pastor, I'm sorry, Jen. Pastor, I want you to, are you able to speak to this? And then,
well, without knowing all the details, I mean, I have to appreciate how she feels. And again, she has a right to feel how she feels. I don't know what he did and what pain she caused, but she's co-parenting. She's found a way to do it. And all of us know healing takes time. Healing is not instantaneous. Healing is not overnight. Healing takes time. Again, whatever he did must have been dramatic. That is really, it knocked her to the core. And I respect that rather than, I said I appreciate it, but I meant to say I respect that, respect how she feel. And we will ask God to continue to heal her, and prayerfully there'll be a time where they don't have to exchange the kids with a third party and communicate through a third party, but that is a process.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because you know your triggers. And so if it's still triggering you, you definitely want to feel pressure to do anything that you're not ready for. And if your family is helping you navigate through that, that's awesome that your mother is able to do that. She's not forcing you to do something. Ray, you can talk. What do you, wait. Have to be aware of where you are as well as not to take any action until you're ready. Ray, you can come on and talk because.
One of the things that I would just add to it is just to be aware, just always be aware of where you are in your healing process, and to not take any action until you're ready to take that action. And if you are, you know, and you could see a bunch of people taking that same action, but if you're not ready to take that action, don't take it, because you'll step into a situation that is going to dismantle you because you're on guard, you're not ready, you're not prepared, you're not flowing in your own gifts and your own healing, and you just won't be ready for it. And a lot of times we look at not being ready as being like a sense of weakness, or, you know, that we haven't done our work, but your healing comes in its own appointed time. And so it's okay to just not be ready for it, just to not be ready to be at that point where you see everybody else may be at, or where you see your family's at. You have to take your time. and take your own journey, because there are certain lessons that are tailored for your journey. And if you're not ready, you'll miss those lessons and you'll have to take that journey again. And so just be okay with not being ready, and being okay with taking your time to get to that place that you're trying to get to.
Yeah, that was it right there. Thank you, Ray, for sharing that. Did anyone else have anything? Say Ray Nard for president. Yeah, that's why he's on my team. That is exactly why. Let me see.
Shantanique,
Yes.
I'm sorry. This is just on my heart to say to the young lady, of course.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I know nothing about your situation, but I do hear the hurt and the brokenness in your voice. And the one thing that comes up in my heart to share, just like Ray was saying, you know, and just take this in your own time. But it's just what I would like to speak. Forgiveness.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Forgiveness is not a feeling. It is a decision. And sometimes we have to make a decision by faith. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But if, when you're ready, you can make the decision to say, you know, I choose to forgive you. I don't like you. I don't want to be around you. I don't even want to see you. But I'm going to walk this out and ask the Lord to help me, to heal me in making this decision. I decide to forgive you. And just to share a quick testimony, I had a situation, I'm not going into the specifics, but I was really hurt. And it had gotten to the point where this person, I literally hated this person. And I'm not one this quick to hate anybody. But I heard a message on this very thing, to trust God, to take him at his word, to make a decision to forgive and ask him to help me. And I was told to pray for this person every day, to do something nice. Well, the one night that was just for me. I'm just speaking, this is just my experience, okay? To do something nice for that person and to continually walk it out in my healing. Now, it was a process. This person never changed, but I found that I changed, and I didn't have to forgive them by faith, the substance of things not seen, the evidence of things not, the things, faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Thank you. I didn't have to do it by faith. He literally took that fiery dart out of my heart, and I was free from that person. And he whom the Son sets free is free indeed. And to this day, I can have conversations with this person, and I have nothing but pure, unconditional love and forgiveness. And the things that they had done to me that broke my heart, I'm healed of it. And I'll end it with this. What he did for me, I know he'll do for you. He is not a respecter of person, but he is a respecter of faith. And if you would just trust God in the name of Jesus, He will heal your heart. But the decision is yours. As Reynard said, when you get ready. Amen.
Can I speak now?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank you for that because I might start crying in a minute, but I'm gonna try not to.
It is okay. You're in a safe space.
I was hurt by it, and my oldest son is gonna be 11, and we broke up when the youngest one was just born, like 3 months. I just took my baby and I hightailed it out of there like nobody's business, and I confirmed my mind that I had to make it. But and my youngest is gonna be 7 soon. But the thing is that now I am in this position that I can accept that I have to forgive him. Now my mind is processing that I have to forgive him. I have to forgive him. I don't want to say I think I am less hurt by it, but I haven't come to that place. Like I was just talking to my pastor about it a few weeks ago. Like I haven't come to that place yet of like, yes, I'm choosing to forgive you today. It's like I'm still praying about it. I'm still working it out. I'm still having my mind to process it because it's as the lady rightfully said, like there are still parts of it that affect me, and there are parts of it that I'm still triggered by. So thank you for that prayer and thank you for that. And one day, hopefully soon, might be this afternoon or tomorrow, I am gonna make that choice to forgive him because it's for me and it is not about him and it has nothing to do with him. But now my mind is coming to conform to that I have to forgive him and I have to release it and I have to let it go and I have to allow myself to heal from it. So now my mind is processing that. So yes, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna stop talking so much because I'm not a talker. I usually don't talk at all. But yes, I'm gonna shut up now.
Come on out of there. We want you to talk. This is why we're here.
Let me
Go ahead, Pastor.
let me say this though, because sometimes we have different definitions of forgiveness. Forgiveness don't mean you're going back to normal. Excuse me, Ms. Jenna. Forgiveness actually in scripture is giving up the right to get even or to wish ill against another person. That means whatever they did, I give up the right to get even. I give up the right to have ill feelings against that person. And it is a process. And when you forgive somebody, that don't mean we go back to normal. There is a new normal. There's people I have forgiven, they still not coming in my house. I don't care what they do. They're not coming in my house. There's people I have forgiven. I'm still not, we're not gonna have conversations, but I give up every right to have any ill feelings and a right to get even. And I'll leave it at that. And then you have to decide what the new normal is. Brother Reynard, help me out.
And just as a person who has had to, as a counselor, and then as a person who has had to forgive multiple people, and has been on the opposite end where I needed to be forgiven. One of the things that was really important, very integral into my process of forgiveness and unforgiveness is I had to understand what holding the unforgiveness was doing for me. A lot of times we don't explore what that unforgiveness is. That unforgiveness, where some people look at it, oh, it's just an emotion or it's hatred. But that unforgiveness is, for so many people, it's a layer of protection. If I let go of this forgiveness, then what does that mean for the other person? What does that mean for me? How does that make me look? How does that mean that I'm going to show up in this world? And when I began to understand the reason that I was holding on to the unforgiveness was not because of the other person, but because I was afraid that this may happen again. It was my own fear that was causing me to hold on to that unforgiveness. And I had to realize that I couldn't live my life in fear. But as long as I said that I wasn't forgiving somebody, that I wasn't, going to take that process and go through it, that I was restricting myself. I was restricting myself from love. I was restricting myself from family members. I was restricting myself from corporate success. all from this one area where I was hurt and I was afraid to be hurt again. But in that, I began to realize that if I just stepped out on faith and I really began to understand the purpose of the unforgiveness in my life, then I could actively take a step forward and go out and really be who I really wanted to be. But we have to understand what that unforgiveness is actually doing for us. We know that forgiveness is for the other person. I mean, for the forgiveness is not for the other person, but the forgiveness is for us. But we also have to understand what the unforgiveness is for us as well. And I think once we understand that, it'll make it more tangible and more feasible to begin that process of healing. But you have to start with understanding what that unforgiveness is for you.
Raynard's Cash App is thank you guys so much. Did you guys, anybody else had anything they wanted to add on that? I think forgiveness is very touchy when you don't understand the full context of it. So I love the way that you guys articulated that so good. We're gonna have to do a workshop on that by itself. Seriously. You said, and on that note, right. That was good. Yes, it was. We're going to actually bring it to a close. Pastor, was there anything else you want? Any questions, other questions you had? You were good? Okay. Okay. All right. So we have one more giveaway, and I don't even know because I wasn't looking. Christian, who was the first person that came on today? Because I don't know. Not you guys, not the speakers. I don't remember who came on first.
I believe it was Ms. Leslie.
And she's gone. Is she?
Yeah, she's not on here.
And Leslie always win.
Always, every year.
She always win. Okay, well, we're going, okay, she's not on. Okay, yeah, but she was on here, the first person.
Yeah, I'll text her.
Okay. It's yeah, I'll reach out to her. So she's gonna get a Netflix gift card. So I'm sure everybody will want that. We quarantine, what else can we do? You save some money on your Netflix account. This was an amazing conference. I needed this. We all need this. And so that's another thing too. During this conference, y'all not learning from us. I'm learning from you all, truly, so that I'm able to be better for the next one and be more prepared. This was our very first virtual conference. I'm super happy that it came. You know, we worked through our hurdles, but we made it happen. Pastor, thank you for taking time out for coming on today. I know you're extremely busy as well as everybody else, all our panelists that were on earlier. Thank you. Our vendors that came through, our sponsors. We also had people donate to a foster care agency that we're going to send money on Monday. So those of you that don't know, my brother and I are recipients from the foster care system. And this is my opportunity to give back into the foster care system because I've gotten so much. I've learned so much while being in the system. And then, of course, I want to just give back and help those foster parents and young people. Those are who are aging out of foster care. So this is my way of giving back by donating a portion of our conference to our foster care community. So again, thank you everybody for coming on. Did our ambassadors have any final words? I don't see Aaron. Casey. Christian, thank you for moderating. Thank you, girl, for coming through.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you so much. I missed Aaron and Branford. Aaron, are you on?
I'm here.
Okay. Did you have any final words? You've been quiet the whole time during the after show.
No, I'm just listening during the after show. Nothing from me.
Okay, you done got comfortable without that tie. You said virtual hugs. Thank you, Deanne, for coming through. We're going to do this again, guys. We are getting ready for our mix and mingle. Y'all hear more information about that in the next couple of weeks. I know that right now in Michigan, the numbers have gone up. So again, just hold tight. We'll find out if we're going to postpone it or not. But I'll let you know. And Louis and Vanessa, did you have any final words?
Yes.
Oh.
One of the things I would say with relationships, it's a process going in, and sometimes it's a process to get out. And many times we have to lend ourselves to the process of getting out. We happy about getting in, but sometimes we have to work through the process to get out, to escape. And sometimes getting out is an escape to save your life. And some relationships, they need to be ended. And it's a process.
That's good.
It's a process.
Vanessa?
I would just like to say that this has been great from start to finish. And Shantanique, just kudos to you for your obedience with seeing this through and doing those things that you've done, and for pushing us. This has just been wonderful. So it's been great, all of it. And I am so happy to be a part of this.
Yes, and I'm so grateful for you guys as well. Chanel and Malene, it's so good to see you. Put a face to a voice. I met a few people that's on here on Clubhouse. Some of the people who tuned in when I was on 107.5 last Sunday, I was on 107.5. So we got a few people that are on here that tapped in. So thank you guys so much. Tanisha, oh, Pastor, you see Tanisha's on. I forgot to tell you that she was who's a vendor today. So she's on here.
Yes, I gave her a shout out in the chat. What's up, Tanisha?
Okay. Yeah, Dex right there.
What's up, Dex?
You missed it, Pastor. He was giving that fire earlier. You missed it.
Oh man, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
cool.
gonna. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do this again. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. All right, and I will talk to you guys. Make sure you're following everybody on social media. I don't think we shared that. Did y'all share that in your workshops?
Did we share what?
You're in social media, where you are on social media.
Oh, no, we didn't. I didn't.
I put my business information in the chat earlier. I can repost it though if you guys didn't see it.
Please repost it because I was just looking for it.
Okay.
Well, you guys know I'm going to do shout outs on my Instagram. Those of you that everybody should be following me. I believe everyone on here is following me on Instagram at Neek Speaks. So I'm going to do a recap, of course, on Instagram. That's where I'm mainly on Instagram, not so much on Facebook. But you'll find all the information that we talked about today, the topics, the vendors. I'm gonna have all that information on my page on Neek Speaks and the relationship conference page. If you're not following, make sure you guys do that today. Thank you, YouTube land, Facebook. Thank you, because I did post it on Facebook. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.